This is our hub. We have 4 ports connected to it. We have the power source, we have the HDMI so we can see it on the screen, and these 2 are for the mouse and keyboard. We connected our breakout garden to our Raspberry Pi and plugged 4 sensors into it. Unfortunately, the 2 plugs in the middle are corrupted, so we weren't able to use them to add more sensors. We have 4 sensors. The AS7262 is the spectrum, LSM 303D is the motion, BME 688 is the air quality, and BH1745 is our light concentration sensor. This is our Raspberry Pi desktop. We have 3 main scripts: the sensor manager that initializes the communication with the sensors, Firebase that communicates with the sensor manager, gets the readings and sends them to the database, and from that we can retrieve them for the machine learning and the application, and we have the Flask API. This is our sensor manager. We initialize the communication with every sensor and make sure if it's connected or not. This is our Firebase script. It communicates with the sensor manager, gets the configuration and initialization settings, and gets the readings. These readings are sent to the Firebase real-time database for retrieval purposes. After running the previous 2 scripts, we make sure that sensors are connected, then retrieve the reading to send them to database. Journey by dedicating a sprint and a half for collecting data to train the model on as much data as possible. And here we can see the huge amounts of data that were collected. After that, we did data pre-processing on the data collected so that we can train the model efficiently. We can view here the pre-processing done on the data. After that, we built a Flask API to integrate the Firebase real-time database with the cloud-hosted model. So the Flask API sends whatever reading the database receives to the cloud-hosted model, and it works as an API between them two. After that, we deployed all 7 models to Heroku, and they received the readings from the Flask API presented before, and then it's integrated with Firebase, so whenever an anomaly is detected, it sends a notification to Firebase to notify users. This is our mobile application. This is the sign-in interface with a forgot password feature and the sign-up. Since this is our first time, we'll go to the sign-up. Here, it asks us for a first name, second name, hub number that is provided by us, an email, a password, and reconfirmation of the password. For the first name, it has to be 3 characters at least, and for the second name, it has to be 2 characters at least. For our hub number, it's A2803. For our email, after that, we have to enter a password with a minimum of 8 characters and re-enter the password. After that, we click on sign up, and a user is successfully created. We are then redirected to the homepage. It first asks us to add sensors to monitor our home. We click on add sensor and add whatever sensor we desire. So for our first one, I'm going to add the air quality and enter its location. So it's in my kitchen. And then click on add. And we can see that the air quality is added to the home page. We can view the air quality. We can see the location and the readings with a small description and its picture and some notes regarding the sensor. And we can turn the status on and off. We can also update the location of the sensor by pressing this and updating the location. Successfully updated, and we can see here that it's bedroom. We can also delete a sensor by by pressing on delete and clicking on confirm. The sensor was successfully deleted. Let's add another sensor. We have the motion sensor in the dining room, and then we click on out. The motion sensor is successfully added. It shows us here that no motion is detected, and the last time a reading was done. We can see here also a note, and we can turn the sensor on and off. We can also add another sensor. Since the motion sensor is already added, the other three are shown here. So let's add them. And sorry. The spectrum sensor is successfully added. We can see here the data that is collected by the spectrum sensor and a note with the description of the sensor. We can also turn it on and off. For the profile page, we can see here the name and the email. We can click on edit password. We can edit the first name and the second name. And we can also edit the second name and the first name. We can click on save. And we can see that the changes were made to the whole app. We can also change password by entering our old password and entering our new password and a confirmation of that password. So, our password and our new password, and we can click on change. Password changed successfully. This is the warning screen. So since I just registered, there are no warnings shown to me as I'm a new registered and no anomalies were detected. And for our last functionality, we have the log out. So we log out and we are redirected to the sign in. We can also sign in. And it's successfully logged in. For our first testing scenario, we brought a fire torch to raise an air quality anomaly by raising the temperature or gas values. We can see here that we got an anomaly in the air quality sensor. When we click on open, it redirects us to the air quality, and we can see that the temperature is high and the gas values are also high. For our second testing scenario, we're triggering an anomaly for the motion sensor. So if we keep moving the hub, it's going to trigger an anomaly in the motion. We can see here that we received an anomaly regarding the motion sensor. For our third and final testing scenario, we simulated a burglar's attempt on coming inside the home and having a flashlight. So we brought a flashlight next to the sensors and it triggered an anomaly in the spectrum.